bonesmen skulk behind the fish faces, the politicians scrapping for bits and pieces of power held by those standing behind green screens that will never be seen. They threw the masses a dark horse to keep them at bay, moving all the dirty chess pieces into bloodied play, while the public debates between elephants and mules, thinking that voting has anything to do with who is deciding their pathetic fates. Barbed wire is wound, Homeland Security points put in place, and Rockefeller and Monsanto keep their pieces in checkmate.
Strike the tunes of a blackened night, the chess awash with the sanguinary fixtures that make no sense unless you've been properly schooled. At the crossed bones, making an end zone of which there is only one end of right, where justice has no part and truth is cast as the stepchild of those who play using their own color schemes and phrases they think only they know what they mean, forgetting that some of the unmedicated public watches the dribbling leaks of information they forgot to mention, like areas of national sacrifice. They forgot the understandings, or calling a spade, understanding the politic rhetoric, suddenly dying of natural causes, cancers and other inoperables, with the invisible grade A's stamp CDC on their DNA. Yea, watch closely, the ball is in play.
While they are busy protecting the public with chipped flu shots for free at your local Walgreens, keeping you busy with the death of Gaddafi. Watch out, their sleeves are rolled up on their right arm, while their left arm, they're preparing for their next trick, one that will never be reported on the Fox network. While Prescott Bush's crimes are forgotten and his offspring move into positions of power, the Bank of Credit and Commerce International fashioned similar crimes, and the Just Us Department turned their eyes toward the dark skies. The roundup began long ago, the lists were made up and the papers were signed. Staying an occupied sheeple keeps the people from getting wise, and while they decide between blue and red, Tamarisol injections and fluoride waters, yes, Tamarisol, an organomercury compound, keeps the public thick and slow and unable to think with a clear head, as the curtains of fascism in 10 easy steps were signed by the bonesmen alongside unexplained natural deaths.
So the dance of the free becomes the dance step of the few, with waving grains of virulent amber and the viral techniques of the man-made mountains that are transported by the metric ton. Radioactivity for everyone. The strains distilled for interjection of mistakes in the hits or assassinations are subjects of neutralized or are terminated with extreme prejudice. Draw the borrowed breath of one more day that disappears into the thickened sanguinary night as the crossed skulls of the injured and ethnically cleansed light up the arable soils with the less of lies exposed, or perhaps better said, exposés of greed, as the many are sacrificed for the extinguishment of major populations, the better to reseed a more compliant public, and the dance of the more acceptable preaching to the choir, a redoubtable congress of mechanized thoughts, the arrogant in their multi-million-dollar bomb shelters, still failing to understand the truth of immortal bone, and the spirits of those who cannot be quenched by a physical silence, and become the ghosting path drenched in the syllables none expected and none can contradict. We told you before. Were we all dead, you would still not be alone. What part of that do you think will be constrained by creed, color, or belief?
So as Bill Gates invests millions in a seed bank in Svalbard, along with Rockefeller and the GMO Frankenfoods, as they are constructed and protected by surveillance cameras in an unmanned structure where the genetic possibilities of a population control become endless constructs. What appears to be fortified food suddenly seems to be concurrently aligned with infertility of a chosen targeted racial group, and as he and Rockefeller build their doomsday seed bank, FEMA is slowly building concentration camps, able to arrest and detain citizens while suspending the Constitution. While we were busy watching the Fox network report on the California fires and Britney Spears, Prescott's offspring signed papers for our protection, and we bicker over local politics while the puppets put in front of us dance with the strings pulled by those whom we will never see. We have become lost in Oz, and it is looking grim as the fairy tale moves to nightmare, and the people are asleep.
Imagine you thought there wasn't any plan of population control. Ah, you haven't been paying attention. The message is implied. How much does it cost for organic food as opposed to a value meal of grease, fat, salt with a spin of caffeine and sugar? How much for a half gallon of cleaned water versus a 24-pack of soda pop? If you haven't heard the message, I can make it plain. If you have money, you can be healthy. So the dance of death continues, and we are the recipients, red earth and otherwise, the skin peeled from our backs to soften the blows of those who are the privileged. If you don't wish to wake up a statistic of someone else's dream, stop watching reality TV. If it was reality, it wouldn't be on TV. Watch the sly dance of those behind the green screens and understand their poor missteps are your demise, your life. Does it serve a purpose, or do you purposely serve? Chapter and verse as said in song lyrics by Stone Sour. Yea, we who are the ragged children, we grow with each century of motion and misery, hope and prayer, the paths to greater being, human beings. Open your eyes, meet your faith. Live or die, but do that with dignity, not the transcript someone else wants to sell you on. Yeah, we wait and we watch, standing on sacred stones. What do you stand on? The moldering remains of skulls and bones? How long will you stand before they cause you to fall?